D-Lo 404 Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to Marlo's Corner, Trey X, and the whole block fam. So, we had Jermall Charlo versus Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan, the same guy who went to district with Jaime Munguia in Mexico, and in my opinion, got robbed in a fight. I felt like he should have won comfortably on the cards, but he didn't. He moved up to 160 to challenge Jermall Charlo for his WBC crown. And Jermall Charlo pretty much made quick work of Dennis Hogan. Jermall Charlo was controlling the action. He was dictating the pace. He was landing the heavier shots. Dennis Hogan, at many points in the fight, kind of just looked like he was on the defensive. Although he gave a gallant effort, he really tried. It wasn't a situation where Dennis Hogan just showed up. He tried to win. He just was overmatched. I felt like that coming in, and Jermall Charlo showed that. Jermall had been on a streak of going to decisions. I think his last two fights against Korobov and then against Adams had gone to decisions. So it was good to see Jermall get back on his get back to getting knockouts, because I know that's what he goes for. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting the W. So far, he's still undefeated. He's the WBC champion. He's now talking about potentially, once again, he's saying that he may want to fight Andrade. And if that fight doesn't happen, then he wants to move up and fight David Benavidez, the super middleweight champion for the WBC. So we'll see what happens there. My whole opinion of him moving up fighting for the WBC championship at 168 is that should he do so, that pretty much would put him in a situation where he's left the division and he's letting these guys off the hook who he's been trying to get fights with, such as Canelo and Triple G. Because if he moves up to 168, they're down at 160. There's gonna be absolutely zero pressure for them to fight him. Not that as much now. And then even if he comes back down, he's at a disadvantage, because he's going to be pulling himself back down in weight after campaigning at a weight class 8 pounds above, and then, basically having to drop that extra weight to make the fight. So if he's going to get those fights, I want to see him get those fights now while he's still at 160. I definitely want the Andrade fight. I think it's a good fight for boxing, good fight for both guys. Two fighters I support. But as far as the Triple G and Canelo fights, I feel like if he leaves the division without getting those fights, he'll never get those fights. Not even if both guys move up to 168. I don't think he gets those fights. And I'm not saying that as a foregone conclusion that he beats David Benavidez. I'm just saying, hypothetically, should he move up and beat David Benavidez, I still don't think that Triple G and Canelo moves up to 168 and gives him a fight. Even though Canelo's already been campaigning at 168 and 175, I don't think he fights Charlo at 168, considering he had opportunity to fight him at 154, didn't fight him. At 160, hasn't fought him. I don't think he's going to make that fight at 168 either. 168, I think the higher they go up in weight, the better it is for Charlo, being that he's the bigger fighter, the taller fighter, the bigger frame. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I expect those fights to take place. But this is D-Lo 404 Boxing. I wish Jermall Charlo all the best. And actually wish Jermall Charlo well in his fight coming up on the 21st as well as I wish Tony Harrison the best. I hope the best man win those fights as well. Shout out to the LDBC once again. Shout out to Marlo's Corner, Trey X, and the whole block fam. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.